What you don't know about insulin that you want to know. More fear mongering by people who believe when insulin's high, you can't lose fat.
You make this sound really simple. Let me show you why it's not. Do you believe that 300 calories of processed sugar, fat, and oil are truly equal to 300 calories of lean protein or vegetables?
Yes, 300 calories of chicken and 300 calories of a donut, no matter which one you eat, it's calories in the day. If you created a calorie deficit with donuts or chicken, it's going to be fat loss. Now, if you want to talk about the thermic effect of food of protein being different than the donut, yes. If we want to talk about vitamins and minerals and what's healthier from that point of view, obviously the chicken.
Nothing I'm going to say here violates the first law of thermodynamics, which is calorie intake minus calorie expenditure equals calories stored, right? All the calories that we eat in a day. It's a total pain in the butt, but let's just say we do it. First off, we have a bunch of inaccuracies because no two eggs or two apples are alike. And the calories on the label on packaged foods and restaurant foods are typically off by as much as 20%.
Now, he said approximately 20%. 10 to 30%, those labels can be off. That's the range. It's a large range. Now, what these individuals don't tell you is that when something is inaccurate, but you've been doing this your whole life, been eating these 10 to 30% off calories your whole life, well, it's inconsistently accurate. So you can take averages. And that's why we take averages when we take data for calories and weight and other things.
Tracking the number of calories our body burns in a day is even harder. Our metabolism is complicated. The single biggest component is our BMR, or our resting energy expenditure, and this can go up or down by as much as 50% depending on our diet, depending on our breathing.
Again, it's called averages and trends. You take your average calorie intake, tracked properly. You take your average weight over a week, maybe 2 weeks, and that is how you find your metabolism through a precise average, because your metabolism is a moving target each day, as he pointed out. Now that's accurate. And you have 4 components of total daily energy expenditure. And NEAT and EAT can be a big moving target, more than NEAT than EAT. Non-exercise activity thermogenesis versus the exercise activity thermogenesis.
This is a scientist named Dave Ludwig. He and several other scientists have figured out something called the carbohydrate insulin model of obesity. This research confirms something that should be obvious. These calories are actually very different than these calories.
What's interesting about the insulin obesity model is that every other well-done study that's randomized, controlled, guess what? Nowhere does it show that when insulin's high, that fat can't be lost. Just in biased studies.
Because of the refined carbohydrates in the donut, when we eat the donut, we get a blood sugar and insulin spike. That's the red line. Whereas when we eat calories that come from protein and fat, we don't get the same blood sugar and insulin spike.
Now, he's accurate there. Carbohydrate, more of an insulin spike than protein. But the insulin spike from protein, which is, you still have one, all of a sudden now you can lose fat, even though insulin spiked.